strange customers I've run into at fast food places. Well, this time I'm going to be talking about the crazy employees and crazy stories that happened at fast food places. This time excluding the customers. Hey, what's going on, geeks? Max of the Beast here, and welcome back to Storytime. Now, I know it's been quite a while since I've done Storytime. It's been... well, actually, yeah, it's been over a month. So, I know some of you who did enjoy the series might be wondering, well, where's it been? I just haven't made one yet. Anyway, regular uploads, newsflash, are back to being somewhat normal again. So this is my second one this week, meaning I'm sticking to the schedule again. Hallelujah, Maxis the Beast is back. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get into the stories. So the first one happened towards the end of December. It was actually, it was early December. What am I talking about? It was December the 5th. And my family had gotten tickets to go see Trans-Siberian Orchestra live in concert. And the day before, we had tickets to go to the White House to see, the place decorated for Christmas. As, it's December, everything's still Christmassy. So, we go to the White House, and we're in D.C., but the next day is, remember, our Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert. And that happened back in our state. So we had to rush back to our place. So, we decided that the next day, of course, we had to get up bright and early and check out the hotel and get a move on. Well, in the car, we get a call from my grandmother saying that my grandfather was in the hospital with a possible heart attack. So, of course, we're going to take time out of our day to head in that direction and make sure everything's okay. He had been taken to the VA hospital a good distance away from our house. So, thankfully, we were still out and about and we hadn't gone home yet. So, we could just stop by while we were out and about. On the way to the hospital, we decided to stop by a nearby Wendy's, because it's about 1 in the afternoon and we hadn't had anything to eat since like 8. So, we go ahead and stop by this Wendy's. And when you walk in, we're greeted by a bunch of American flags and decorations more suited for the 4th of July. Now, some may say, Max, it's December, it's still kind of close to Veterans Day. Well, yeah, but it had a lot of pictures like fireworks and stuff on the walls, too. This was clearly the people at Wendy's being lazy. So, we order our food and sit down. Since I've been in the car for several hours, we needed to go take a restroom break. So, I go into the restroom first. I open up the door to the restroom, and the urinal is right beside the door. No barriers to give customers their privacy, nothing like that. The toilet is also in the middle of the room as well. So there's no privacy. If someone were to walk in on you, you would be exposed completely. And keep in mind that this was designed to house multiple people, as there was more than one urinal. So that means that the designer of the restroom clearly didn't care about customer privacy. No matter, I'll just see if I can lock the door. Oh wait, I just remembered. This is supposed to be for more than one person, so crap, I can't lock this door. So I just had to pretty much hope and pray that I would not get killed. Not killed, but what am I? I'm thinking about the game here, sorry. I just had to hope and pray that nobody would walk in the door and that I wouldn't get spotted using the bathroom. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to think about, but in this situation, what are you supposed to do? You, you, you hope and pray to any gods you believe in that no one's going to walk in on you. So after that whole thing, fortunately, nothing eventful happened other than the whole initial scare. So I go outside, or I leave the restroom, and we've already ordered. We take our seats. I meet up with my dad, who'd already sat down. My mom was still in the restroom. And then I noticed that the food had been set out. I went over to pick up the food and bring it back to our table. And I decided to go ahead and ask, just to make small talk with the cashier, about the decorations still being up. She said, I'm sorry, but we just haven't taken down our 4th of July decorations yet. I was right. They had been lazy and did not put their take their decorations down. Which, again, there's nothing per se wrong with it. It's just kind of strange for 4th of July decorations to be, still being displayed in early December. But we got our food, and that was it. There was nothing else eventful that really happened. It was just the strange restroom thing and the whole 4th of July decoration thing going on. That was just the strange part of it all. Would not eat there again, though. The burger was mediocre. I would eat at Wendy's again, don't get me wrong, but that particular Wendy's just, meh. Also, that stalker just phased into the wall. So the next story happened mostly to my mom. So, where my mom worked had like an employee of the month type of deal going on. And the several employees chosen would be given a gift card to a local restaurant. And Mom was chosen to be one of these employee of the months. So she was given a gift card to Applebee's, which we rarely ever eat there, but it's essentially free money. So you can go and get you can go and get food from a restaurant. I mean, whether you eat there or not, that's a pretty decent deal. So she was kind of hoping for a place like either Cookout, Chick-fil-A. Not really because we like fast food, but because like we eat there a lot. Or a place like a local restaurant who also sells gift cards. She was hoping for one of those because we do eat there a good amount and they have really good food. But she got Applebee's, which again, not really that big of a deal. Well, but one day my dad was out of town on a business trip, and Mom was working late, so she didn't have time to come home and make food. Because of that, she needed to be able to grab some food for us to eat that night. It's closing on 7 o'clock. She looks into her purse and says, I still have this Ruby Tuesday, or Applebee's gift card. I can use this to get just some food for the night. Because, it's really not that big of a deal. Well, she goes over to Applebee's, orders me a burger, and orders herself a salad. A chicken salad. So, she comes home, she gets a bag full of the food. She comes home, she pulls out her salad. We had sodas and stuff in the garage, so she didn't need to buy any drinks. She comes back in with a couple Cokes, and then she goes back in the bag to see if she can find my burger. Whoop-de-frickin-do, it's not even in the bag. The people at the restaurant had forgotten to give her my hamburger. Well, wonderful, what am I going to eat? So that night we actually ended up driving over to McDonald's and getting a Big Mac. So I still got fed. It just so happened to not be a or Applebee's burger. So I keep getting the two mixed up for whatever reason. But so the next day, she goes over to Applebee's to complain. She walks in. She says to one of the employees, "I need to speak to your manager." "Okay, right this way, ma'am." The employee leads Mom to the manager, where Mom talks to him about the whole situation, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Here, take some coupons so you can get some money off next time you come by. And we'll also have a new burger made for you." Well, the burger itself was mediocre, but the coupons were for every time you spent $30 on a meal, you would get about 15% off your next meal. And that wasn't counting the meal that you spent $30 on. So those coupons were going in the trash. So you're saying, hey, buy more stuff and then you can get some small percentage off. So, needless to say, we're not eating at Applebee's again. Since I feel like I rambled on a little bit too long with the first story, I'm going to try to condense this final one and make this the final story. So our final story of the night comes from actually Ruby Tuesdays, the restaurant where I keep mispronouncing Applebee's to. So it was my grandfather's birthday, and he wanted to eat at Ruby Tuesdays because he hadn't eaten there in a while, and he used to really like their desserts. So we go to Ruby Tuesdays all together, and this Ruby Tuesdays just so happens to be in the same parking lot as a Walmart. This will be important later on, trust me. We get seated. We get greeted by the most enthusiastic waitress of all time. She says, "Hello, welcome to Ruby Tuesdays. How may I help you?" And this is after we got seated. She's saying, "How may I help you?" We just look at her like, are you even trying to be a friendly friendly service? Is this what people consider friendly service these days? I mean, whatever. It's probably just some college student trying to make money. No big deal. Well, we all order our food, and then it's my grandfather's turn to order. He asks for a baked potato for a side, along with it. He orders a steak with a baked potato as a side. The waitress turns to him and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but we're out of baked potatoes. We ran out of potatoes an hour ago." Excuse me, what? Okay, I don't know if Ruby Tuesdays is only allowed to use a certain type of potato provided by a certain farmer or something, but unless that's the case, I don't see a deadly darn reason why they couldn't just walk across the street to Walmart and buy some more frickin' potatoes. I mean, it's only gonna take a couple minutes. Also, who runs out of potatoes anyway when they're that close to a Walmart? And it's not like Walmart was their only choice. They had a Food Lion down the road as well. I mean, literally just go on the road from that Ruby Tuesdays, go down the road a little ways, and take a left, and you're at a Food Lion. So it's not like Walmart was the only choice, and it's not like maybe they're being biased against Walmart. No, you still have another couple options. I don't get it. But he did not get a baked potato because they were too lazy to walk across the street. Also, he was asking for a dessert for his birthday, of course, because he said he really liked their desserts, remember? Well, he asks for a nice old cheesecake. He gets the cheesecake, and the cheesecake is falling apart. Like, it's fallen completely over, it's smushed. It doesn't look like a cheesecake anymore, and he ordered strawberry sauce alongside of it. Or on top of it, and the strawberry sauce wasn't there. I mean, again, the strawberry sauce itself wasn't really that big of a deal. He could have just ordered it, like, ordered a tube or something to dump on the cheesecake, but the fact that the cheesecake was ruined wasn't really that great. And it's not like he was going to complain. My grandfather has never wanted to complain. He won't complain about things. And so he wouldn't really complain. He wasn't really going to complain about the whole cheesecake being lopsided. Then the waitress comes back, and she just stands there. We pay. She gives us the bill, and we sign off stuff. My dad pays for everything because it's my grandfather's birthday. We're not going to make him pay for the food. We fill everything out, and the waitress continues to stand there and stare at us. Well, what are you expecting, lady? Us to give you a kiss on the cheek? She asks, "Where's my tip?" Lady, we put your tip on the bill here. It's kind of standard protocol at this point to just write down the tip on the bill you give us. She literally just stood there until we gave her a physical tip. Now, of course, I mean, we already put a tip for her on the bill, so we're not tipping her twice. Because there's literally no frickin' reason to. I mean, we've already paid her what she's due. There's really no reason to pay her a second time. So we leave the Ruby Tuesdays, and she follows us out, still asking for a tip, and then she starts trying to make a scene, saying, "These people won't give me my tip. I worked hard to deliver their meals to them, and they won't give me my tip." People just look at her like she's crazy. Because her manager is actually out there saying, no, I'm reading over the bill. Her tip is on the bill, you know, like normal people do. It's not like you pass a tip to people much anymore. And who are people going to believe? The crazed employee or the actual manager of the restaurant? Most cases, the manager. So, after throwing a little bit more of a hissy fit, the waitress finally gives in, and we can finally frickin' go about our day. Never going back to that Ruby Tuesdays, although I have been to several others since then, and I've had much better service. And some pretty good food, too. Sadly not sponsored. So anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this story time. I mean, the experiences weren't necessarily the best, but I did enjoy recounting them for you guys, as I always do. Anyway, I do want to thank you again for watching this, guys. Your support means so much, and yes, regular videos are back. Regular uploads should be back on schedule. A new Worst Games on Steam is being released next week, along with the next exciting episode to Subnautica. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching, and as always, Max the Beast is out.